guys, welcome to the Chelsea Skidmore Show. I'm here today with my guest, actress Mindy Sterling.
Hi, Chelsea.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for having me and having a parking space for me.
Yeah, this lot is very full normally, so we both lucked out.
Yes, no, that's why when I came in and I saw there was that one spot that my car would fit into, and I thought, oh, please give that to me.
Yeah. Hard to come across.
Yes.
In LA. How long have you been out here for?
Wow. Okay. So, probably, let's see, I think I came out in my early 20s. So maybe like about 22, 23, and I'm 65 now.
Mm-hmm. You don't look it.
So, well, thank you. But I feel it. So yeah, a long time. I mean, it was either going to New York, or, if you want to pursue, what you do, New York or LA. And I had some relatives here, and I was raised in Miami. So
really,
this was very familiar to me, just in terms of the weather, in terms of, having a car and, and all that kind of stuff.
You were born and raised there?
I was born in New Jersey.
Okay.
But have no memory because we left when I was
Thank
very
God.
young. I know that's what everybody says. And never really spent any time in New York. And then was raised in Miami again when I was very, very young.
Wow. That's so funny. I'm from New York, and I went to South Beach so much. Growing up, I used to party there a lot.
Yeah, okay.
Were you a party girl?
No, I was not.
Beach girl?
Yes. Did I go to the beach and baby oil my body up and lie, there for the sun? Absolutely. You almost had to do that. But no, I was kind of a nerd. I was kind of, I think that's why I found the theater, because that was, these are my people. They're all goofy and, and non-judgmental.
Did you, so in high school you were doing like the plays the musicals and all that.
Yeah.
Did you just come to that on your own?
Well, my dad was in the business. My biological father, this is going to be weird. His name he's gone now, but his name was Dick Sterling. And okay, so we're in the Comedy Store now recording this. So Mitzi Shore was married to Sammy Shore.
Yeah.
And they lived with Sandy Shore and Scotty Shore.
Yeah.
Around the corner from us.
Oh my God.
So in Miami.
Really?
In North Miami Beach. They lived around the corner from us. So we knew them. And my father first was he partnered up with Shecky Green.
Okay.
And then he partnered up with Sammy Shore, or maybe it was the other way around. But so my father was a singer, and
was he in Vegas with them?
No.
Oh.
He was a singer and he was a comedian, and but usually when he was with Sammy or Shecky, he was more of the straight man. But my father had the most magnificent voice you could have ever imagined. I mean, it blew Robert Goulet's voice to smithereens. But so yes, so that's. I mean, just being here and talking, isn't that bizarre? So
yes,
when I came out here, and my brother also came out here, I think my brother contacted Mitzi, and she, wasn't necessarily
friendly.
Yes, exactly. And here was like, we just came out and blah, blah, blah. But, that's okay. But Sammy was much more with open arms. Yeah. And when my father passed, Sammy came to the so it's just weird, like
that's
how that
so
all
bizarre.
I know.
Is your brother, was he also being a comedian?
No. He lives in the Valley, and he has a t-shirt business. So he makes t-shirts and all sorts of things.
Nice.
Yes, so
printing.
We're very different. But so getting back to, so my dad was in the business, so I kind of, even though I was very, very shy and insecure, like, are we all? But I don't know, somehow I got into that, going to school thinking, oh, you know what, I could play a character. And I wouldn't have to be myself. So I could hide behind that. And I just love the art of that.
And
to me was,
only because you gave me permission to go dark. I'm not going dark, but I want to go deep and think, did any of that have to do with, like, if you grew up with a dad who is a comedian, he's big, the attention is on him.
Yes.
Did that make you feel like you too had to kind of extrovert yourself to...
You know what? I'm not sure. I know that my dad intimidated me, but at the same time, when I was kind of falling into that, he couldn't be more happier and supported me. And I mean, my whole family did, but was like, I think that was like, oh my God. But he also was very, I was 13 and he thought, you know what? If you could, I want to give you Shakespearean lessons. If you can do Shakespeare, you're going to be a great actor. And I'm like, 13?
Yeah, it's a little difficult.
And so I remembered this woman came to my house every Saturday. And I would have to do these Shakespearean monologues, and I'd have to memorize it. And well, that didn't last long because I hated it.
Okay.
And the woman said, and I was like, I can't tell my dad; he'll be so mad at me. And she goes, I'll tell him that this isn't for you. And then he was fine.
It's for no one.
Yeah. He was fine about it. So he followed me. I mean, he got to see me become successful with Austin Powers.
Wow, yeah.
So that was the best gift, was that I was able to bring him to the very first Austin Powers screening. And so he got to see all that. But, oh, no, he was adoring of me, almost to a point where it was like a little, just let me breathe.
So you didn't feel the pressure more so to like please him? It was more like it was the opposite almost.
No, I think we all want to please.
Okay,
yeah. I mean, yeah, I definitely think that. And I still want to please people. Yeah. But I never felt it wasn't me trying really hard, like I couldn't do it. You know how some people go, I just could never please my father. No, that was not the case. I could.
Sounds nice.
And what was nice was, because my dad did shows at condominiums, and he also performed like Miami Beach at the Singapore Hotel. He did shows there, and I would go and watch him, and and just be, oh, it's my daddy.
Yeah.
He was incredible. So no, and I was just the apple of his eye.
Did you think you picked up any did you learn anything from comedic timing or?
Oh, yeah, loud, very loud. Oh, definitely. I think my brother is not an entertainer, an actor, but he's really good hosting things. So I see my dad and my brother more so, but I definitely feel that, I have my dad's facial expressions, funny. And so, yeah, we were a very animated family.
Did you always have that freedom to, like, really just go for it and be those kind of characters? Or did you ever have to kind of work up to feeling comfortable with that? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I think that was just who I was. I was very animated. I was very a little over the top. I was theater.
Yeah.
And that's why I loved theater, because theater, that's what they want.
Yeah.
Then when you cross over and you're doing television or film, there was all that, Mindy, take it down.
Did you go into a lot of auditions and they're saying stop making it so big?
Yeah, take it down. So that was like my big thing. I would always go around going, just turn it down, Mindy. Nowadays, people, because I work so hard against that.
Yeah.
And now, people will say, oh, have more fun. Just turn it up a little bit. And I'm like, oh.
Was it hard to make that adjustment and find that in between?
It was for me, because, and I understand it now because of teaching at the Groundlings and whatnot. It really was just about making it real, grounded, because there are people in this world that are bigger than and broader than some other people. And I'm like that anyway. I'm very animated when I talk. I'm very, I have a lot of emotion, very passionate. So, but for each different role, you have to find what works for that or the style of the show. So I watch a lot of TV, and it's so funny because lately I'm watching a lot of British drama and mysteries, and their acting is so wonderful. And so the last couple of auditions that I went on, the note was, have more fun with that. And I go, oh, okay. Because I'm playing the too real.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like, I think, I don't want to get to that place where they go, Mindy, turn it down. Turn it down. It's a little over the top. We don't believe you. So, you do have to find, because everything is different nowadays.
Yeah. Did you go right into comedy, or did you?
Totally into comedy.
Okay, great.
That I fell right into. And in fact, and musicals, when I came out here, I did, community theater, got a commercial agent, and then I followed, I don't know how I got into it, but it was probably something, it's called Backstage West now, but it was the drama log when I was coming up. And I found this improv class. It wasn't the Groundlings.
Okay.
It was at the LA Connection. And I just went and I auditioned, and I thought, oh, wow, this is sort of interesting. You don't have to memorize anything. You just kind of play. It's like theater. You just sort of play. And I fell in love with it, and I loved it, and met a lot of wonderful people that eventually lent itself, and they told me, you got to go to the Groundlings.
Mm-hmm. So Groundlings already...
It was around.
Yeah.
But I didn't know anything about it. And this was, something I had seen first in the drama log. And so I went there first, and then met people that said, oh, you got to go you're funny. You got to go to the Groundlings.
And you've been there for a while now.
I was a Groundling for probably 10 years, and then became alumni. And then I was teaching. And I teach every now and then, like a specialty class. I don't do regular classes, and then, but I get to do improv there. So just Thursday night I did the Cooking with Gas show.
That's one of my favorite shows.
I know,
yeah.
And I love all improv. I love doing improv more than sketch comedy, more than anything that I have to memorize, more than pre-thought. I just love to get together like what we're doing right now. It's.
Yeah, just like on the fly and stream of conscious, and
you're listening, and you're it's not like you have 1,000 questions, but you're listening, and based on what I say, you're yes-anding it, and you're taught, and new things come up. So I like that better than when somebody has, and doing an interview with you, and it's like, okay, so and okay, okay, and they don't have I like. Well, a conversation.
You can't really be listening to someone because you're thinking about your next question, and it just feels very. I don't know.
Well, it's
not good.
You're not. There is no relationship. There is no connection, and that is what acting, and that is what life is about. And so that's the kind of stuff I like.
Did you take acting classes?
I took an acting class, but it was more of a cold reading, and it was where you sat with a person and you were given sides, and you didn't read it beforehand at all, and you just went with it and let your instincts go, which I thought was really interesting and very effective. And then I did take an acting class with Margie Haber. I took a weekend with her because I have anxiety over auditions and
really.
Oh God, yes.
It makes me feel so good to hear you say that, because I mean, you're one of those people when you go on their IMDb pages, there's like, hundreds and hundreds of things. So like here, it's like you want to hear people say this. And then you think of all the
hundreds of things that I couldn't.
And I want to hear all about it.
Well, I think to various different degrees that everybody has anxiety when they go in. It is a very what's the word I'm looking for? It is, it's a strange thing that we do when we go in for auditions. It is, it's just not, it's not easy. It's weird. It's just the whole operation of it is weird. When you think about, even just prepping for it, like, the anxiety of prepping. Then driving in the car and going over your lines, and you're almost killing yourself because you have this script on the dashboard, or you have it in your lap. Then getting there, then seeing all the people that are up for the same part. And,
who look exactly like you.
Well, not really. I mean, everybody looks different, but that's why I'm casting it and I'm not it. Because I look at everybody and I go, oh my God, you're perfect. I could do it, but you're if visually And if you know the people too.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, you probably,
now,
see everyone you know or other people
and then
who
you visit.
think are really successful.
Yes.
But you're obviously very successful, but you're probably out of your head. See, it's so interesting to hear that from your end, because it's like, I almost think that, that like you wouldn't even be affected by that anymore. But I guess, does it never go away?
It never goes away. And I think as I get older, it's gotten a little.
You don't care as much?
No,
really?
Yeah, it's like, Jesus, what's wrong with you? It does. It's like, oh, it's a lot of work. My memory isn't as intact as it used to be. Not that I ever had a great memory, but it is
hard to memorize.
Well, you're memorizing in a short amount of period. You're memorizing, you're not with anybody. And I was helping a friend of mine yesterday with, having to do a tape. And those are the worst. And I'm reading with her, and you're having to, but I'm not the character, and I'm just reading and I'm holding the phone, and it's like, it's tricky. And, so it's the whole process is just unreal. And so I go there and I'm, oh, look at all these wonderful people. How are you? Blah, 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 blah. And we start talking. And then it's like, okay, I'm going to go and I've done as much as I could do until that time. And then I'm going, okay, don't get too whacked out on the lines. Don't get too, just go in there and have fun. Just have fun. Own the room, have fun. You're not, and this is what I do to myself. You're not going to get it anyway.
Ooh.
So that hopefully I don't.
You take the pressure off yourself a little.
Yeah. And sometimes it's good when I go in and they're not talking to me, because then it's like, I'll just get right into it. But then
when they start asking you all these questions, you're like, can we do this after?
How are you? Yes. And you're like, oh, shit.
And there's nothing. Have you ever been like, can we talk after? No, you can't.
No, I can't. I can't. And so then I do too much, and blah, blah, and then it's like, all right, let's give it a shot. Do you have any questions? No, I'm going to do what I do. You tell me if you hate it or not.
Yeah.
And then there are some people that they do bring out the best in you. They will. That's great. Do it again. I love when because they know you.
Yeah.
They know what you can do, and blah blah blah. But it's not a natural thing to do, and we could go on them as often as possible. And I think some people are really good at it.
I know some people, there's like an art to just like their behavior when they walk in there and their energy.
It's a psyche that they put on. It's they can just focus. That's all they, whatever it is. It's like, God love you that you can do that. And some of us can't. And some of us try. And some of us had our hard time. And some of us beat ourselves up. So there's all that going in and playing in. And so the other thing, what I'm trying to do is when I leave, rip that paper up and put it in the garbage before you get out.
Yeah.
Not in the same room.
Don't drive around with it in your car for 3 days.
Because it haunts you.
Yeah.
I found, I'm cleaning the car and it's like, what is this? And it's a script that I never got, a part that I never got. And it's like, oh God. And then that comes back to you so you can think about how horrible you were. I inevitably will leave. And if I think I did a great job, which is not a lot, but when I do, it feels fabulous. I don't care if I get it or not. I knew I did the best. I knew that I didn't have my, that horrible demon that is, enticing me. And then if I'm nervous and if I flub up, I can improvise. That's one thing.
Oh, okay,
and there has been a couple times when they go, great, right. They don't like improvising. You're like, my eyes will be on that script a lot more now. So, and you know what, Chelsea? Everybody in that room could do it. Everybody in that room, because when you get to a place and the casting people bring you in, the casting person loves you. They want you to do well. And all the people in there, only one of us out of 40, one of us will get it. That doesn't mean the other 39 are bad.
Yeah.
And I have to just go, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. And I've done some not great auditions and I've gotten it. I think we've all been there too.
Yeah.
So it's what we do afterwards too, so that we don't beat ourselves up, so that now you're going to bring that to the next one.
Have you ever done something that you didn't plan to do and asked to, get another one?
Usually they will say, let's do another one.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I'll mess up something or I'll forget something. They'll go, it's great. Let's just do another one. Because I personally believe that we should all be given at least two. A warm-up. Mm-hmm. And then they can either give us notes or, great, you went through it once. Let's do it again. Relax. Just that alone will give everyone an opportunity. It's just like, you can go over before you go into the room 1,001 times, okay? But you don't have anybody reading with you.
Yeah.
And then you get in there, and then it's the awkwardness, and then you have somebody reading, and they've been reading it, and sometimes they know the dialogue, and sometimes they're just reading. Just ease us through it, and then one more.
Yeah.
Then they can pick and choose which one they like or which one, So that would be my dream, is that we all got that.
Do you have any standout audition nightmare stories?
Well, to me, they're all nightmare stories. But there was one and I shouldn't have gone. It was like an instinct of mine. It was a comedy, and I shouldn't have gone. It was a lot of material, and I didn't like the show. Mm-hmm. Not to say that I like all the shows I go out on, but it was like, this isn't me.
Yeah.
Just not me. But you know what, Mindy? Just do the best you can. Anyway, I had such anxiety over it. I went to the audition, and there was several scenes. There was 3 scenes. And I went up to a friend of mine who was there, and I went, oh, my God, I'm such anxiety. And she just looked at me and went, mm-hmm. And was because I came and bothered her.
Yeah.
And afterwards I thought, you son of a bitch. But anyway, so it was kind of threw me a little bit. But so now I'm looking through it, and then I'm going, stop looking through it because it's making you worse. So I go in, and then the casting person says, okay, so, and before I went in, I didn't have scene 2. So, they had to make copies. I'm so sorry. I thought I had them all. I go in, and then he says, you're replacing, or you're not replacing. You are replacing the bartender who has really passed. He's really dead. But you're playing his wife. So they want you to do this little thing that he always did. Okay? Uh-huh. And it was a way he said, hello. Okay. I'm thinking, oh my God. Now I gotta come up with that. I have to sound like that. And I'm like, so already.
And did they give you any hint?
Yeah. Okay, so now I do scene 1 and scene 2 horribly. I'm just all over. I'm all over the place because in my mind I'm like, I shouldn't be here. And there are times when I really do want to tell the casting person, you probably are not going to show this, and I would be fine with it. Really.
Have you ever?
No.
Yeah.
But I really wish someday I can do that. So then, okay, so let's just let's go to scene 3. Oh God. Oh my God. Oh Lord. I'm so sorry. I thought I had scene 3. I thought I brought it with her, and he goes, that's okay. We don't need it. So then I left, and it was like, I should have not gone.
Yeah.
It was one disaster after another for me. So, yeah, that one recently sticks out.
Can you just leave and just kind of laugh at it now, though?
I kind of did.
Or does it deeply bother you for hours?
No, that I kind of laughed at. I mean, I think when I was younger, I would have cried.
Yeah.
But I do kind of go, Mindy. It was sort of laughable. And when I called my agent, and I said, oh yeah, it was probably one of the worst things I'd ever done. And my agent was like, oh, all right. My agent calls to find out how I did, and the guy said, yeah, this wasn't one of her best. And then my agent tells me, and it's like, I knew that. You didn't have to confirm it.
I didn't need that. Yeah.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
Yeah. And then do you do anything to lessen your anxiety? If it's not even an audition, just with performance in general? For just performance?
Well,
auditions and, it's all
I try to talk to myself to say, you're good at what you do. It doesn't matter if you don't remember the lines. They only need one take. They only need one take. So it's okay. Don't let it, blah, blah. Somebody will probably mess up before you, and everybody messes up. So when I'm on the set and somebody messes up first, there is this, it's like, because in my mind, for some reason, and maybe it was my dad, though I don't remember him saying you have to know your lines, but it was me going and learning and just being disciplined. You have to be professional. That's what he would always say. You have to be professional. When you go in, you're prepared. Da, da, da. So there's all of that. So when I am not perfect, and I am not perfect by any means as a human being, when I am not perfect in that room, I'm thrown. And I trying to work out. You're never going to be perfect. You can have fun. You can improvise. Don't worry about knowing all the dialogue. It'll work out. They'll get it too. And, inevitably it does. And then they make me feel good. And I can then, but I think I'm better at work in an atmosphere that they all love me and they're all cool. They're like, oh, please, we all mess up. Don't worry about it. It gives me permission to go, oh, good. I can be good and I can be who I am, but I'm not going to be perfect. And you're not going to look at me like, what's wrong with her? We can't hire her again. Because that's in my mind, I'm thinking, Mindy Sterling. We love Mindy Sterling, but she can't remember anything.
Yeah.
And I think as I'm aging, that scares me.
Well, I know.
So that is my
and line reading.
Yes. And so I love doing things where I can play. I love doing things I don't have to get I'm doing a 2-person play in December. And I've done it before, and it's called Yes, Virginia, and it's at the Dory Theater, which is on Santa Monica Boulevard near Cahuenga and Cole, that area. And it's just the two of us. That's a lot of dialogue. Her name is Ranisha Walker.
Okay.
And I did it before, and I will never, ever get the play completely right. And the director and the writer was like, Mindy, you do the best you can, and you're an improviser. You know it well enough. You'll figure it out, but I'm not going to whip you.
Yeah.
And I always say, I really try. I never want anybody to think that I'm, being the bad girl. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah. I mean, that's a lot, but
when you do stand up, you get into a routine. It's not like you're coming in and creating things every time you go up there. So you'll do a set and you'll try something out and maybe you'll try it out again and you'll refine it and you'll try it out and then you'll get it so that it becomes second nature, but you can also mess with it.
Yeah, and it also helps that I'm not worried about messing up for someone else. I'm only accountable for myself, which feels good. Because I too would be concerned or feel bad or like I don't want to put anyone out or mess up something I was supposed to set them up for.
It's yours, and you can play with it, and you know where it's going to go. You know the joke, so get to it. If it's not exactly how you got to it, you can work with that. But when you're working with other people, that is that. Please them. Don't Mindy. Don't take too much of their time. It's this the good girl in me.
Yeah.
Because I never want to be a pain in the ass.
At least you're not completely self-centered though and narcissistic. So
no, I'm just the opposite. I beat myself up. But yeah.
The Groundlings is a very supportive place.
Yes.
Which is amazing. And how long have you been there?
Well, I started in mid-'80s, taking classes, and so I left at 94.
You've been there when so many amazing people have been there.
And I got to teach some of them. That was such a blessing and an honor. Oh, I worked with Lisa Kudrow. We were in the Groundlings together, but I think I did direct her in the I don't know if she was in the advanced class or in the Sunday Company. I had Mike McDonald. I had Maya Rudolph. I had Chris Kattan. I had Sherry O'Terry.
You taught all of them.
Yes.
That's
Kristen
amazing.
Wiig was my babysitter. I did not teach her, but she was my babysitter. And for my son. And who else did I have? oh my God, am I drawing a blank? Or, no, I mean, just
that's
a lot of really amazing, wonderful people. Yeah.
And when you were teaching them as a teacher, like, do you get to see that magical thing when you're like, wow, this person's like really good?
Yes. I, and there are a lot of people that don't make it, that I think,
but were those,
so good.
Did those people kind of stand out to you?
Yes.
Like something really,
yes.
Who would you say, or I don't want to say you have to choose like one, but like, was there anyone specifically who you just like were super blown away by and watched them?
I mean, I think Lisa Kudrow was so different and so unique, and we were friends, and there was something, and so subtle, and I loved her subtleness. I mean, I was so enamored by it because I had to learn how to be subtle.
Yeah.
And so I just thought, oh my God, I could watch her for hours, and she just makes me laugh, and you never know what's going to come out of her mouth. I thought Sherry O'Terry was just a ball of energy and just wacky and funny and made me laugh. And Chris Kattan, his father was a Groundling.
Oh,
so there was that going on, and Chris was very insecure about, probably going in his father's footsteps. And I remember telling him, God, do you know how funny you really are?
Yeah,
you are so. Don't try to be your dad.
I actually saw him here the other night.
Oh, really?
Performing, yeah.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah, he's been doing stand-up.
Yeah. He wasn't a student of mine, but I performed with John Lovitz.
Oh.
We got into the Groundlings together at the same time with Kathy Griffin. But yeah, there are people that you sit there and you go, and, maybe they do other things, but there's something magical about them.
Yeah. What do you think that some of those qualities are in what makes someone, is it like the way that they like listen to, do you know what
I know it's really hard. It's hard to,
I wonder if there's like
so
a common,
different.
Yeah.
And it's like,
sort of,
you're able to watch someone and go, there's no one like you. You're not trying to be a Groundling. You're not trying to be what you think you should be to get into this program. And a lot of people do that, or you'll
trying
see
to
somebody,
be funny instead of just being,
yes.
I know, that's...
And you'll see people too in the, that go through the Groundlings program because they'll come to the shows all the time. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden you go, do you know you're doing blah, blah, blah? Oh, no, really? Yeah. Your characters and who you are, you're becoming a mimic to blah blah blah, and you. Oh,
you mean they're kind of acting like other people?
Yeah. And you may not even realize that or know that. Be very careful because that's what people will see in you is, oh my God, they're doing la la la. Mm-hmm. So it's finding the people that have something that is unexpected, that the minute you see them on stage, when people ask us about how people are voted into the Groundlings, and they think it's very political. And I have to be honest to say, I don't know political in what way. First of all, comedy is so subjective, and not every Groundlings agree with everybody that comes in. And I was always taught and always saw it as you watch the Sunday Company to make those choices. And if you can sit back and go, oh my God, every time you come out on stage, I light up, or I am so jealous of you because you're better than me, or I cannot wait to work with you.
Wow, yeah.
To me, those are those three things that you go, you're a star. Mm-hmm. You're a star. You have to be someone that people cannot wait to see when you the minute you come out on the stage. So that's what hopefully people look for. And again, not everybody agrees with certain people.
Something I think is so cool is that about the Groundlings is that like that you teach character workshops. Like Edie Patterson is someone I really looked up to, and it's just so cool that you get to watch these people in shows, and then they're also teaching you.
Right.
it's so awesome. My first basic teacher was Tony.
Oh,
Cavallero.
Cavallero. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just like
he was a student of mine too.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. And it's just like, it was really cool, to learn from him and now see everything that he's doing now. And like, it's just really cool how hands-on it is there. And, UCB has that too, but it's different, I think, in a way with the Groundlings.
Well, from what I hear, the Groundlings have a very structured program.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, very structured. And we've added in recent years, we've added another level because we felt that people were getting slighted by improv.
Oh, really?
And you did basically basic and intermediate were improv. Mm-hmm. Then the third was the character lab. So now you're writing, and you don't do that much improv, other than in class where you're improvising and then you're writing off of that. Mm-hmm. And then in the advanced, you're doing shows, so you're writing. So you don't get a lot of improv time. Mm-hmm. And they wanted to really concentrate on that a little bit more. So they've put in another, before a lab, in another improv class.
Advanced, you mean?
It's like advanced improv or something.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, because I did beginning, intermediate, and past those, and I was supposed to do advanced, but I was taking like power wows in between to like, because, there's the whole thing of like, you might not go on and like, so I was like, oh, okay, well, I want to make sure I'm really good at it. And then I just stopped and, started on stand up, but I want to go back. And so tell me about Austin Powers, how that all came to be.
Well, I was doing Cooking with Gas show, and Julia Sweeney worked with Mike Myers and brought him over to be in the show one night, and we were all like, oh my God.
And he was on SNL at that time?
Yes.
Okay.
And so it was just so much fun. He was so sweet and funny and lovely. And so we just kept calling him back every now and then. So he came back and did a couple of shows. And then he did a special show. He was working on Austin Powers, the character. Mm-hmm. And so he did a special show with stuff that he wanted to do. And he had a couple of us be part of that show to work with him, and I was one of them. Mm-hmm. And then when this came about, the Austin Powers, I was asked to audition, and the director, Jay Roach, had seen my work, and so I felt a little comfortable that he knew who I was. But I was also, nobody really knew me. Like they went with, Robert Wagner and Seth Green. So I was kind of the one that was like, wow, someone's going to have to take a chance on me. And I believe that Mike and hopefully that Mike and Jay did that. And and then I got it.
And was your character Frau
Farbissina?
Was that part of that one man show, or was this a new?
No, I don't think. Maybe it was. I don't remember. I just remember him doing Austin Powers. Mm-hmm. So I don't remember what I did. It'd be really funny if that kind of came out of the woodwork. So but I don't. I think I might have been the only girl. Maybe not, but no, it was just working with him and how we enjoyed that together. And he always thought I was so funny as an improviser because I knew nothing. Like, in other words, if you say, like, he's very smart and bright, and I don't have a lot of knowledge of history or of politics or of football or no. So for me, it was just like I would just make it up, and he thought that was hysterical because you could always tell when Mindy doesn't know, but I will commit to it 100%.
I love that,
but I will not know it. So we would just make fun over that, and then so when the first Austin Powers came out, which was like the biggest thing in my whole life. It didn't do that well.
Really?
No, it did well after it went to VHS.
I think I'm trying to remember. I know I watched it so much when I was younger when it came out. I feel like we might have had the VHS.
Well, because that's when everybody bought it, and then all of a sudden it became very popular.
My mom loved it.
Yeah.
She had the game board, I think. Was there a game board?
Probably.
Yeah, it was huge.
Yeah. And so then, getting the call to do the second one was like, oh my God, I'm still in.
How long did that come after?
That's a good one.
right away, a couple of years.
It's just, and not too long because they needed to do the momentum, and he was writing I think them pretty quick, and so it probably a year maybe where
Did anything change for you between the first and second? Like, did you feel like? Well, you were just saying you felt like you gained a lot more popularity. And
I think maybe a little bit, but I think it was maybe the second and the third. Then but then it was like everybody wanted me to do the same thing. They wanted me to be on a show and to do that same character and be like, okay.
After that, outside of Austin Powers?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
That. Yeah.
That kind of like drill sergeant.
She's Russian. She's not German. Well, it's going to sound the same.
Yeah.
Because all of my accents, they have all that sort of, fall into each other. But so I had to say no to a couple of things. And go, I can do other things. Yeah. So that took a while for. Then people were able to see, she's a character actress. She can do other. characters. But and of course now, the big question is he going to do another one? We hear he's going to do another one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but because he mentioned it a couple of times on Good Morning America. He said something like, "Never say never." Or something like that. So,
is there any?
Do
you know any secrets?
Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing other than that's the most I've never heard him talk about it since. Mm-hmm. So
your character in that was so fun. And did you guys work together on that, you and Jay? Or did you kind of come in with that?
I think I came
fully
in
fleshed
out.
Yes,
I sort of came in because he had me improvise the Lucky Charms, and I sort of did it myself. And in fact, I had asked my father, who was living at the time, I said, "How do I?" Because he was so good with dialects. I go, "Can you do a German dialect for me?" Because I was so afraid I was going to, all of a sudden get Jewish.
Yeah.
And so he would do it, and then I would play it all the time. So he gave me some input, which was really sweet. And then. And then so I just sort of did it. And then, and then all the things that I got to do that became iconic, the Scott. I yell. When I yell, I'm shrill. I didn't have to do anything. It's just Mindy yelling shrill. And that became huge.
Yeah, I feel like I remember the only thing I remember from that movie is you yelling, and I don't know if this is the line, "Send in the gates!" Or
he says, "Send in the clone!"
Oh, is that what it was? I don't know. I thought it was gates. I just knew it was dun 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 dun.
Lots of them, yes. And that's
the only thing I remember.
Well, that's what I did on several things.
Does everyone say that?
Some people want me to yell. Some, it's like, "Scott!" So I can do it where it doesn't, where it's like a little so quieter. Funny. But, no, because it becomes huge.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my God, I have sayings that are iconic. And the only thing that I'm so sad about is they never made a figure.
I was just going to say action figure.
Me and of Robert Wagner.
Huh. I'm surprised.
Everybody else.
What?
I know.
That would hurt.
We thought they were going to, because we did at one point. We got to go into the simulation thing, and they looked like they were measuring us up and doing all this. And for some reason, they just didn't.
They have a place where they do that on Robertson. There's this new store where they make action figures, and you can make it for friends and family members.
How
and you go through
cute
it is. Maybe you can get one on your own.
I'll tell you what, though, I do Comic-Cons, and I went to a Comic-Con, and this man came up to me and he goes, "I heard that you never got an action figure." He made me, it's what? How many inches is that? 2 inches. He made me a little action figure.
Did you just cry on the spot?
Well, I gave him a big hug and just told him, really, that is something I've always wanted. And really, there's those things that when you're growing up, you go, action figure on The Tonight Show, mm-hmm. which was with Johnny Carson, which I was on through the Groundlings.
Oh.
And People Magazine. I don't know why.
That's so funny.
I haven't really been in People Magazine yet.
Or I feel like Entertainment Tonight was the equivalent of that.
Well, my Entertainment Tonight was when my birthday is mentioned.
Oh yeah! I mean, my mom used to love that show.
Yeah,
and
the birthdays, and you're
and
people go, "Mindy, your birthday's really?" So I'm so queer. I get all excited over this little things.
Yeah. Do you still have that action figure?
I do, because it was recent.
Oh.
And awesome. I have an action figure of, I did a voiceover for an animated series called The Legend of Korra. And I have a huge action figure of my character.
Amazing.
So that is pretty dreamy. I mean, to me, that really means a lot, that somebody would take the time to go, important enough, we got to make an action figure.
Yeah. When you create your characters, like, what do you do for inspiration? Do you start from like the outside in or inside out? Do you study people often? I remember.
I mean, I do. I do. I mean, just everyday people. I don't think about, but I'm always, I love people in general, and I love talking to people. I love making friends with people. So I think those things, it's hard not to watch them and and there's certain people that will stand out in your mind and you'll go, oh my God, this is a great character.
Yeah.
And, you almost wish now, and still seeing them, you go, oh God, I wish I could write a scene for that, but I have no place to perform it. Mm-hmm. So I always tell people when I teach, it's like your inspirations are from your family, people that you know, people that you work with, people that you have an acquaintance with, people you went to school with. I mean, they're those people, because visually they pop into your head and you have a better understanding and I think of a focus and a memory of what they do and their gestures. And there really was this one doctor. I was doing a charity event last week, and there was this doctor who came up and he accepted his award, and it went on forever and as mundane as possible. But he always did this and and I mean, and you're like, oh my God, somebody really does do that. They have to constantly, like, I don't know if it was medical or if it was just
someone
nerves.
Who does that.
I found it interesting. And teaching classes based on characters, I always say there's those little things, those little things that define them. Some people, one of my favorite things is, are you ever around somebody when they talk, they sometimes have to close their eyes.
It's just like,
I mean, whether they're thinking or it's just a thing that they do, it always makes me laugh. And so there are great little, tidbits that you can pick up from somebody and form a great character.
So when you're preparing for a role, do you always, you're a character actress,
right.
But do you ever play things just straight from yourself, or are you always adding all of these extra?
Oh, no, I don't add a lot of stuff.
Okay. Unless it's like a really broad kind of character.
Because also too, they'll always give you those adjectives.
Yeah.
She's silly. Mm-hmm. She's afraid of the dark. Mm-hmm. She loves to be the center of a party. So they'll give you adjectives. So you're looking at them going, oh my God, do I have to do all of them at once? Mm-hmm. No. So they set up the character and how now you've got to make it a human being. Because sometimes they give you too much, I think. A human being. And then you're reading the side. So you're reading the dialogue. And so, so she's dry. Mm-hmm. Or, she's got a little edge to her. Or she seems really insecure. So you can kind of look at that. But I don't do a lot of little, because then I think that you're going to go overboard. So you have to, if you internalize it, then those little things will just be enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. So then that's more, I guess, just for Groundlings character sketch sort of.
Yes, sketch
world.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And they're wonderful.
Yeah.
But you can't. Yes, sketch and television. You have to be careful of that crossover.
Mm-hmm. Do you prefer doing voice acting rather than on screen?
Well, I do love my on-screen, but you do have to memorize.
Yeah.
Voice is still new to me, even though I've been doing it for a while.
Yeah,
I'm still learning.
Do a lot of
but I still
voice,
learn.
Yeah.
And you don't have to prepare. Mm-hmm. You just go, and the director will just do it this way. Or do it, it's that 3 times, do it 3 times in a row. I love doing a line 3 times in a row. And you get one, you only get one. Just pick one. It's fabulous. So there's a luxury to it. Mm-hmm. It's still a lot of work because where I can rely a lot on my facial expressions, a look I give you, behavior with my body, they can't see that. Yeah. So that has to come across in your voice.
Yeah. And then, okay, so you're constantly playing with that to kind of get that out.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And so where you think you might have done something with your voice to, show that emotion, they may know, end up there. And I don't know what you mean, as opposed to, I don't know what you mean. Oh, okay. And I don't think many of us care if you give me a line reading every now and then.
Yeah.
Because I don't care. Sure, I'll do whatever you want. I'm at it. I'm still getting paid.
Yeah.
And sometimes it doesn't come to you that way, but they want it that way.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just easier for them. Just say it, and then I'll say it right after you.
Yeah. What do you do after like a night of performing when you're live performing to wind down after, when you have all of that adrenaline?
Well, usually I'm tired.
Oh, really?
I'm older now. But
I don't know if stand-up is different, but it's really hard to fall asleep after. But I assume
I'm really good at it.
Okay.
Usually if I do a Groundlings show and, you're done by 9:45, I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I'll go out and have a drink or two with people, which is great. I love doing that. But my drive home I live on the west side. So my drive home, could take me 25, 30 minutes. So I'm coming down from that. I don't go home and have a glass of wine. I don't go home and, necessarily smoke pot. I get in my bed. If I'm not real super, super tired, I'm a TV watcher, so I'll watch TV for a little bit until I get tired. But I don't have, really by 9:00, which is our intermission, it's like I could go home.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of, what do you do?
It's really hard, honestly. Sometimes I take melatonin, but I've been noticing it makes me have nightmares.
Oh, okay.
So I like to drink magnesium citrate powder or get the pill form because that helps relax you. Or
I do take magnesium pills.
Yeah,
I think 800.
I don't know the milligram
or something, but I take that.
I
take that for poop.
Well, it makes you immediately when you wake up go to the bathroom.
Not for me. And that's another thing getting older. Your body is starting to change, and you're like, I don't like this. I don't like it. I don't want to keep taking something. So everything starts to change, and you go, couldn't I just be great like I was when I was 30?
Mm-hmm.
So that does make you a little relaxed.
Yeah, and I hate that I do this, but sometimes I can't fall asleep and I'm just scrolling on my phone in bed in the dark. Oh, that
I do too.
And I hate it.
Oh, in the dark?
Well, you're on, because I'm trying to fall asleep, but I can't. So me and my husband are both just scrolling on our phones.
Oh, you guys are bad.
In the dark.
Oh,
it's like, it feels gross.
Yeah. No, unfortunately for me, and we've all have our vices. My phone I try to turn my phone off at night.
Yeah.
And because I don't know why I think my phone needs a rest. And I put it right next to me and I sleep with my animals. And then when I wake up, now I can't see the clock because I'm blind. So that's the first thing I do is put my phone on to see what time it is.
Mm-hmm.
So that phone is already ignited.
Yeah.
And I get my coffee and I come back and then I use my iPad. It is a really, really bad. We are absolutely addicted to our social media and our phones.
It's horrible. I hate it.
People can't walk without their phone, including me.
Mm-hmm.
I promise people we all need to really not walk across the street with our phone.
Mm-hmm.
And also at night.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be on the phone at night.
Yeah, even when I walk into a restaurant, if I'm like picking up food to go or something, every single person who's sitting there by themselves, I
can't be alone.
But I want to be on my phone too. But
but in our mind, we know it's horrible.
That, and I'll be like, I'll just be so turned off, and it just feels so gross. And I think it like robs creative thoughts. What
it robs is connection. A connection. Yeah. How many times somebody's on the phone
in the middle of a conversation
and they're talking so loud, and you're looking at them and I give these dirty looks like, that is your voice. That is something that you need to take, because what happens is it's like a smoker. Mm-hmm. It's rude.
Yeah.
It's rude to be puffing it with a bunch of people that don't smoke. Mm-hmm. So, and it's rude to be talking on the phone, and they're, you're trying to get the money out, and we don't need to hear it.
Yeah.
People go into a store to buy things, but yeah. And I'll tell you, which I'm horrible at, but it really is in the car.
Huh.
I mean, I know a lot of people turn their phone off in the car.
Oh.
Well, I mean, no texting.
Yeah. I mean, I get caught up in it.
I know, it's horrible.
I don't know why it feels so important to send right now while I'm driving on a green light sometimes. And my mom's going to hate that if she hears this.
It is because it's an addiction. I really mean it. It is
I'm an
addiction.
I mean, yeah.
That's probably the only thing, that and tortilla chips that I'm addicted to.
What, salted? Lightly salted?
Well, no, I mean, I like, Cabo chips are really good.
Yeah, I like those. I have those.
But they have to be like, I don't like salt.
Do you
so if
eat
it's
them,
salt, it's very little.
Do you eat them on their own or with salsa,
I can eat
guacamole?
them on their own.
What do you do to relax? If you were working on a shoot for a couple of days and you're really overwhelmed and you need to just chill out for a couple of days?
I like to clean, so I clean all the time.
Do you need energy for it?
No, because I won't clean necessarily every room, or I won't clean thoroughly, where you're dusting every moment. No, I just like a clean place. And then if I'm just like tonight, okay, I don't think I have anything tonight, so I will go home and put on some lounging clothes, mm-hmm. and I have a 23-year-old son who lives with me, and I will order food in, and I will watch television. Mm-hmm. I love my Netflix. I love my Prime. I love, right now I'm watching The Bodyguard, but not...
Okay.
It's a Bodyguard, but it's on Netflix.
Yeah.
So it's a different show.
I just finished Homecoming.
Me too. What'd you think?
It's incredible.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, I love how it's so Hitchcocky.
Yes.
I love all the shots. I'm really into the way...
Oh my God, yes.
That meant so much to me, which sounds weird, but I don't see stuff like that anymore. And
But you know what? A lot of British shows do really interesting shots as well.
I don't think I'm watching enough British shows.
I am. That's why I'm going to these auditions, and I'm very serious. It is there. I love the Brits. I love what they do. I love how they act. I love that the women are not your your typical, they have to be beautiful. They have to be young. They have to have a lot of makeup on. They have to have their facial done. I love that they're just good actresses.
Yeah.
And I am mesmerized by it. So I finished Homecoming. Then somebody said, watch The Bodyguard on Netflix. That's really good too.
Okay.
Good acting. You probably watched did you watch Broadchurch?
No,
Broadchurch and Happy Valley.
Broadchurch.
Those should be your next Netflix.
I've heard of Happy Valley, but I didn't watch either of them.
Okay, that you'll love.
Okay,
you'll love.
Did you watch Patrick Melrose?
Yes.
That was it. Is that considered a British show, or
was it? Was he just British, or was it? I don't remember.
Some other people besides.
He was
incredible. And he's incredible. I didn't really know him really from much, although I know he's been in a lot of stuff.
Yes, and I haven't seen, but I have seen his stuff, but that was a performance. I don't think he was even up for anything.
That's insane. The scene when he was on Quaaludes, I think it was just brilliant.
No, he's really, really brilliant. He's doing the Grinch animation is coming out, and he did the Grinch. Mm-hmm.
And weren't you in?
I did. Well, I did for this particular one. I did some background voices, but I was in the live action one with Jim Carrey. I played one of the two women that help raise the Grinch. So
God, that's so
I was
fun.
Clarinella, and so if you watch that, we're kind of in the beginning.
I saw it. I can't remember anything about it.
It's so good. And the great thing about it is
fun...
it will air like crazy for the holidays.
Yeah.
I've done several Christmas movies. So all that stuff.
It's the gift that keeps giving.
It's like, oh my God, Mindy's all over the place.
Yeah, that's fun.
But that's what's so nice about doing a holiday movie is that Grinch will constantly be playing.
Yeah. And and then Homecoming. So how did you? I loved it.
I loved it. Now, are they doing a second season?
Yeah, they are.
Okay. It was really nice to see her do something like that and look. I mean, she was looking. There were some shots of her. She looked horrible.
You mean?
I mean, like she just looked. Well, I mean, but it's all created with lighting and with wigs, but it was like good for you.
Oh, okay. You mean as like an A-list actress, like allowing that to happen?
Yes, and good for you, and you know what I mean. And it's like you didn't have to have a certain light on you or a certain look on you that always. No. She was awesome and wonderful. What's her name? The one that plays her mother, Sissy Spacek. Oh. Brilliant. They're all of them. All of the.
I love Bobby Cannavale. He's so hot.
Oh, I know.
He's so hot, and I loved his character. And the Asian woman, I'm not sure what her name was, but that scene in the final, that was incredible. That was like, it was so cool.
I'm so glad that you watched it because I just saw it and I didn't. Usually I'll get from somebody, watch this one. Yeah. And nobody told me to watch it.
No one. I feel like no one knows about it, but it's weird because Julia Roberts is just right there, and a friend told me to watch it. And for the ending, I mean, is it spoiler to us to decide if he recognized her or not with the knife?
No, I know.
Or fork thing.
Oh yeah, I know. I don't know. Because that's why I was like, oh, please tell me this continues because you can't leave it off like this. So yeah, I hope it does. Because I think they're working on it now. I also watched The Sinner.
I've heard it's good. I haven't seen it.
Pretty wacky weird. Pretty wacky weird. There's a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, so there's too much. It's an overload.
To me, that's what I do. I will get in my bed or I'm in my living room, and I never used to. Binge watch. Oh, have you watched Killing Eve?
No, I haven't heard of it. I don't know why I haven't heard of it. Oh
God, why can't I think of her name? The Asian actress. She was wonderful. She was
Lucy Liu.
No, Grey's Anatomy.
Oh, Sandra Oh.
Yes. It's amazing.
Yeah, she's great.
It's amazing. You have to find. I think you have to get it on. What is it? I don't know if it's iTunes or I don't know. Look to see where you can get it. Fabulous. Binge watched that thing on an airplane.
Huh.
I mean, I'm doing things. I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm becoming
productive.
A couch for well, what am I? I still go out with my girlfriends and my friends, and we go to dinner and we have drinks and blah blah. But what are you going to do? It's like I don't need to go, out all the time. And I love. It's just comfortable.
Yeah. Do you do any meditation or any kind of?
No. I should. I really should.
Spiritual?
No, I should have of course. I just started taking Pilates.
Oh, nice.
So just because I have to do something and everything I've done, I realize I hate the gym.
Yeah.
I hate the gym. I had a trainer. I hated doing what he wanted me to do. And it got to a point where I was becoming a grouch and I hated going and I was paying a lot of money. And I finally was just like, I don't think this is working out. I'm just not enjoying it. And then I'm going to make you not enjoy it.
Yeah.
So I started taking Pilates, which is right now better for me. But I realized if you say you're going to go to the gym, Mindy, and you join a gym, don't join it because you're lying to yourself because you've tried it too many times. So and I walk a lot.
Yeah. Have you ever been to Two Bunch Palms in the desert?
No.
It's an amazing place to relax. Just throwing that out there. They have desert hot springs and it has lithium in it, which sounds random, but it's extremely relaxing. I always tell everyone about it.
Say if I have, or I know I've heard of it. I've gone because I love spa stuff. I love having massages.
It's great.
I love going away and doing things like that. So yes, and massages. A must.
Yeah.
To me, that is like one of the biggest rewards I can give myself.
Yeah. Have you been to the Now?
No,
it's that? On Beverly. It's modeled after the Koki Hotel in Tulum. It's a very cool scene. It's almost like you're suddenly transported to Mexico or something, or outside of LA.
Oh.
It's on Beverly. It's kind of by it's by Air One. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah. Okay.
And it's really beautiful. It's white. It's serene. It's very comforting, relaxing.
Expensive?
It's not that expensive. It's like $50 for like an hour, I think. It's a very cool little spot, and they have
probably because it's so far from me.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, whatever.
I know. It's like you get to that place you're like, and I'm in Santa Monica, I'm all the way at the end. You get to that place where you go, where can I go? That's like 2 feet away. But that sounds fabulous. So if anybody wants to buy me a gift, I would definitely use it. I love that kind of stuff.
And then I guess we'll just end any kind of advice that you have for anyone who wants to, do comedy, improv.
Well, definitely go to the Groundlings. I think that, you and I have given that the seal of approval that it is one of the best training grounds, even if you are there not to become a Groundling, which is best to not go in there thinking you can, but just do the work and then come see the shows. I don't know. I just think in general, comedy, stand-up, anything that makes us laugh and that brings a smile to our face. It releases so many endorphins and just it's a healing. So to always, find ways to make each other laugh. I mean, if I can't laugh with my girlfriends and my friends and my son and my animals, that's my everything is to laugh. And and there's so much going on. There is so much, as we know, in the news and politics. And lately I've just been kind of inundated with people that have cancer has come back to them. My sister was just diagnosed with breast cancer. I'm a breast cancer survivor. It's finding whatever it is that you have to do, but finding the comedy or humor that doesn't disappear in your everyday life.
I love that.
Because it is so important. So that would just be my one advice.
Yeah. Thank you so much for coming on. And then you still do Cooking with Gas every week?
Not every week, no. Okay. Every now and then. But I am going to do my play. It's called Yes, Virginia. It's at the Dory Theater. It starts, I believe, December 8th. It'll run Friday, Saturday, and Sunday afternoon. Please call and get tickets. It's really a sweet little play.
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming on. And then thank you guys for listening. Please remember to subscribe, rate, and review on iTunes. And see you next time. Thank you.